Hi everyone, it's Joni Young here. Welcome back for day 6 of painting all August long. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to paint a simple and gentle waterfall. So much more. I always pack in as much as I can into one video for you guys, and these are all simple, easy, relaxing steps to follow along with, and I'm going to take you guys on a little journey today. Let's create a beautiful waterfall sanctuary. Now the canvas I'm using today is 11 by 14. I've got it propped in my canvas vertically. However, you can use any canvas you want, paper, canvas board, just use whatever you have around your house or that you can afford at this time. And I'm also going to be using a few brushes. I'll go over them right now, as well as the colors we're using. Check out the full list below this video in the description box for more. 14 filbert, a 1-inch round mop brush, a 20 flat, and a 2 rigger or long liner. Here are the colors we're going to be using today: titanium white, lemon yellow, phthalo blue, sap green, Mars black, and crimson red. All right, so if you guys are ready, let's jump in and get started. Okay, so for this painting, we're going to start with a thin strip of blue sky up here. So we're going to use that same brush stroke that you learned in video 1, day 1 of painting. So we're going to be using our flat brush. Let's just get that flat brush a little bit wet, catch any drips, and just add a little bit to the canvas. Remember that adding a little bit of water to your canvas to dampen it really helps to extend your paint. So make sure I get a little bit more on there. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of white, and we're going to add a little bit of blue, just pulling and turning to load. You can make your blue a little bit more intense, gradually add a little bit more if you want to, and let's just pull that back and forth. Now I want a little bit more blue, so I'm going to pull in again to my white, and this time I'm going to pull in more of that blue. I'm going to add this at the very top of the canvas, back and forth, needing a little bit of water. Helps release the paint out of the brush too, and just helps so many different things with acrylic painting. Now there are mediums that you can add to thin your paint out if you want, and to prevent it from drying too quickly, but to be honest, just using a little bit of water works best for me. I can control the drying time of it if I want, and it doesn't cost anything. Okay, so there's our little bit of blue sky. Let's come in and add a little bit of white just on the end of our brush, just a little pull and slide like that, and let's just kind of fluff in some clouds like this. Okay, just a little, almost looks like a bird. Now I'm going to rinse this brush out. I'm going to show you a beautiful technique that's really easy to do while this paint is still wet. You're going to take a dry and soft brush. This is a mop brush, and you're going to barely touch that paint very lightly, sweep upward or on an angle. And it just gives that cloud a light and soft touch. Remember to rinse your brushes out when you're not using them, and don't let them sit in water either. Sitting in water or sitting in paint too long will both ruin your brushes. Okay, so let's get back to the next step of this painting. I'm going to come in with a mixture of black and red. The reason why I want to mix the black and the red is because it's going to give me a really beautiful shade of a deep brown, kind of similar to burnt sienna, but much darker. The warmth from the red with the black is going to be very earthy and complementary with the green that we're going to be using. So I'm going to take a bit of both, and I'm being quite generous because I have a large area here to cover. And I'm going to dip my brush into the water. The paint stays on there, and we're just going to start going any direction we want just to get this painted. Now imagine maybe that there's like cliff up here. Obviously there's going to be cliffs here because we're having a waterfall come down. We're going to have that waterfall be the focal point and the center of interest in this painting. So everything around it is like a frame. So I'm going to take some more red and black, and I'm thinking maybe rocks, right? Edgy rocks, round, soft rocks. Kind of just move your brush around like that. Don't think about all the details of a rock or a boulder. Just paint it more loosely and expressively. Let's take a little bit more paint and water. With a dark base like this, all our other colors and layers that we're going to be adding are going to really show up nicely on this, and this will give us a lot of depth. That's what it does, is it helps to create the depth. So you have a shadow, a dark base for a shadow, and then you've got some mid-tones, which we talked about yesterday in our tree painting, or the other day. Okay, and then I'm just pulling my brush side to side like this because this is where we're going to have some water. And I'm deliberately leaving this lighter and not solidly painted because I want to have it kind of glow with some turquoisey water. And I'm going to dry this off now and rinse this brush out, and then we're going to start coming in with our next layers. Okay, now that this is dry, we're going to come in and start adding our waterfall. I'm going to continue to use the flat brush, and we're going to take some blue. We're just going to take blue to start. And we're going to go in the center here, line our brush up, and then we're just going to pull to the side like this and then drop it down. Pull and drop it down. Then we're going to just go side to side. I'm going to take a little bit of water, pull into some more of that blue, side to side, and you can paint right over that dried black and red. That's going to give us some shadows and depth in the water, and give us an area here in the center that's going to be a little bit lighter. So the next color we're going to add is white. So let's take some white and gently mix that in. It doesn't even have to be mixed in to make one solid color. I kind of like it when it looks a little bit marbled like this. You get so many different light and dark shades when you do this naturally in one stroke on the canvas. So let's follow that same brush stroke, but be a little bit lighter with your touch and your pressure. So very light, pull and drop down, pull and drop down. Let's take a little bit more white, and again, pull and drop down. Now we're going to come down here and wiggle or zigzag tightly together, and then turning the brush, making it full width, or like this way with the brush. Thin or wide works, but you want to keep that light right in there. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more, add a little bit more blue in with that white. Again, not over mixing. See how we've got a little bit of both? And I'm going to concentrate on this center area here, and I'm going to shake a little bit. So if you're a bit nervous, and I know you are if you're just starting, that's the shaking is going to give you a little bit of gentle movement, those ruffles you get in waterfalls, which I really love. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to a little bit of a shake here and drop. What you don't want to do is continuously go over and over and over, because you're going to be left with a solid brush stroke here, and it won't look kind of see-through with all these lines in it like you want to have to create the illusion of water. Then I'm just going to kind of wiggle and shake here at the bottom for a little bit of a splash. So believe it or not, but if you're a little bit nervous and you don't have a steady hand, that can work to your benefit with certain techniques. Okay, I'm going to take some more white and I'm going to kind of just dab that, shaking, and then pulling side to side. Okay, so now it's time to rinse our brush out. We're going to switch over to a filbert brush. So here we have our filbert brush. I'm going to take just a little bit of water just to dampen those bristles, and then take a little bit of yellow and green. Okay, we're going to come up top here and we're going to add some trees way back in the distance where this waterfall is flowing from a river, and you know, around that river up top there's probably some trees and bushes and all sorts of plants. Okay, so just a little bit like that. And you can see it's kind of see-through, right? That gives you some lighter tones in between. And then I'm going to add a little bit down here as well. Maybe there's some moss-covered rocks. So I'm going to go up and over, up and over. Let's take a little bit of yellow and white. And up and over. And then maybe one or two right in here. I think I just want one more little one right there. So just gently push, pull, and sweep over. All right, let's rinse that brush out. We're going to be using our mop brush next and creating some beautiful foliage and bushes all along either side here, leaving little hints and hues of this red and black in between to really set the colors off and complement one another. Okay, so I'm going to tap in to my green. Okay, I got a little bit of blue in there too. Whenever that happens, I don't wash my brush out. I kind of go with it and trust that it's going to be something like a beautiful mistake. Okay, so I'm going to start tapping over the base right where I started, because the waterfall doesn't start here on this rock, right? We want to give the illusion that it's starting way back there and tells a story. There's a river that goes up there where it's falling from or flowing from. And then I'm just going to tap lightly like this. We're going to go right over part of the waterfall. What does that do? It makes this inside and it pops out the rocks on the outer edges. It makes things become 3D. So that's why I wanted to paint the waterfall first, so that we could come in and do this. Okay, so you hear that sound that the brush makes? That's what you want to hear. If you have too much paint on your brush, you're not going to hear that. So I'm going to show you again how to load the mop brush. Okay, so I've just cleaned and dried my brush out. I want to show you again how to load it. So the brush is dry and we're just going to gently pull in away from the pile. Pull a little bit from the pile and then tap lightly and evenly. So you maintain that puffy shape. That's going to give you the shape and the texture. See? This is by far my favorite brush to use. It's satisfying. You can use this for creating flower bushes like I showed you in one of the more recent videos here. And then I like how it goes in there and it's like, maybe it's so dark in there, maybe there's like a cave in there. I like to make up a little story during my painting process. It makes it fun. It just naturally starts to happen when I'm creating paintings, and you'll get there too, and maybe you're there already and it's just such a fun place to be. Okay, let's take a little bit of yellow now. We'll go into that yellow, green, and white mixture that we used for up here. Tap lightly, and let's start adding a highlight. So we're going to apply the brush partially on the top of the green and a little bit above that. So we're leaving the dark green at the bottom for a darker shade. Okay, so now This is starting to become 3D. Now you don't have to do super bright highlights on everything, but I don't want any of my bushes to be one solid color. Even when there's not bright sunlight, there's always different types of light, amount of light going on. Okay, so the final thing we're gonna add to this painting are a few little branches, and I'm gonna be showing you how to do that with the rigger brush or a long liner. They're very similar. First, you wanna get it wet. You wanna use a generous amount of water, and what we're gonna do is go into that red and black, pull to load, and then get a little bit extra on the end of your brush. Okay, and then we're gonna pull a branch here and have it kind of coming and just dipping down in front of this waterfall. So we're gonna just pull, move around, wiggle, kind of twist at the same time, and then let off. I'm gonna get some more water, load my brush up again, make this a little bit thicker here, and then start to let off on the pressure to make it thinner. A little bit extra paint on here. Okay, a little bit like that. And then maybe we can add another one in here. Let's just take more water again. Again, we're going to just pull, 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 pull. And have a little branch coming out from a tree. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm going to take a little scoop of each. Now I'm using heavy-bodied acrylics, but you can use thinner acrylics as well, craft ones, whatever you want. But if you're curious as to why mine's not running, it's just heavy-bodied acrylics. These, by the way, heavy-bodied acrylics will stay wet longer because they don't spread out and let the air, the oxygen get to them. They stay in a pile, so that keeps them wet longer. What we're gonna do, I'm just gonna take a little bit more of this sap green. I'm gonna add a little bit of moss and vines dripping on this to make it pop out even more. So I'm gonna start right here on the top. Come around here, and then I'm gonna pull and drop down. Let's take some more yellow, pull over and drop down. I'm going to take a little bit of white, mix a little bit of white in with that yellow and the green. The white will help it show up a little bit more because the white is not transparent, it's opaque. Opaque means the opposite of transparent. So the transparency of the yellow and the green is not allowing it to show up as brightly as I want it to because the base underneath that is darker. I'm gonna have a little bit dripping down here. All you have to do is just add these little lines, and it gives us that illusion, which I think is so complementary with the flow of the waterfall, because then we have this kind of flowy gracefulness of the moss and the vines along with that. Okay, and then maybe we've got a few little half circles here for some smaller rocks. And there you go, you have a finished painting. All right, I hope you all enjoyed learning this painting today and picked up a lot of great tips and tricks for your painting journey. I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 7 of our painting challenge, all August long. Bye.